Wow! Damn, man, look at that, look! Whew! That's messed up. Okay, Heisenberg! Next week.
We're done when I say we're done. Anyways, welcome back to Satisfactory. We're almost done beating the game here, but in order to do so, we need to build a super lab. Last time I logged in and automated everything back up to assembly director units. That way I can build myself those biochemical sculptors. Now this time we need to automate one last part before we can finally put together those final project assembly parts. It's time we mess around with theoretical physics, because we need to work on the Super Position Oscillators. But when planning out this build, I had visions from a version of myself from the future. Past Archie, he said, I have traveled back in time to deliver you the words of a great prophecy. When automating Super Position Oscillators, you must create 2 lines of 3 and 4 oscillators per minute. For the 4 oscillator line, you'll join forth at the 4th supercomputer line you created earlier to give life to new artificial intelligence. I'll get right to it then, I replied. Oh, and one more thing, said future me. That weed gummy you ate? It's not 15 milligrams. You misread the decimal points. It's 1,500 milligrams. Wait, what? How? Bye. Have fun. So last time I was convinced that this desert base would be the final factory that I would build for the endgame. But that's not quite working out. As always, my old nemesis, my horrible frames per second, has creeped back in and has found me once again. Plus, we're gonna need some fresh new resources that are not really close by the desert right now. So to send this base off, we're building one last power augmenter, as tribute to how far we've come. And also, I am paranoid as all hell about another power crash. With that done, we are moving towards the northern forest portion of the map, with all these oil nodes, because even though I'm outside of Toronto, does not mean I can connect to my inner Alberta. This location not only gives me access to fresh crude oil, but also brings me closer to the red bamboo forest and the sweatiest, most infuriating creatures that dwell within. But it's worth it though to get access to that coal and sweet, sweet bauxite for another aluminum line. It also should keep me away from the lag. Until then, I can build up a new train line and zoop in a bunch of platforms like there are deck of cards in a 3.5-hour Bellagio session. With the main base made, I can start seeing what I actually need to build and automate. So I randomly drop down buildings as if they're helldivers on their way to die in Malevolent Creek. And it's here where I run back and forth, looking at all the options in these factory machines where a certain feeling washes over me. I am really close to beating everything. All the other project assembly parts are just pre-built in a storage container next to my space elevator. And I said I didn't want to be a hack and just hand-feed project assembly, but I mean, I don't know. I also prep up the oil. But what do I actually need oil for? Aside from freedom, I guess. Well, first off, I'm gonna need some for that rubber for the insulated crystal oscillators alt recipe. But the real fun is a production line for the dark matter crystal. Going down the dark matter trap route, we're going to need time crystals, which means we need diamonds, because we're not just gonna maximize efficiency, we're gonna use oil. One of the most unethically sourced and environmentally harmful resources on our planet to produce oil-based diamonds. Another one of the most unethically sourced and blood-stained resources and commodities in the real world. And this will in turn create one of the most blatantly evil production lines that this game theoretically allows. Next on our list is quartz crystal. This will be the only resource brought in by train. And I have 2 nodes right here next to some tracks. So I might as well drop a new station and hook everything up. But as tradition, we gotta give this logistics network a name. The station that we are going to be picking up all this quartz from is going to be called the Crystal Ship, named after a certain iconic RV. The drop-off point will be called the Super Lab, a location known for its authentic fried chicken. And the train, well,
Heisenberg.
You can argue if the train should be called Jesse Pinkman, since he was the one actually moving the crystal. But I'll leave you guys to fight about that in the comments section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because right now we're slinging crystal for science. This now leaves 4 more resources to pull in: bauxite, coal, copper, and strange alien matter, which is what leads us to the Red Bullshit Forest, named for its toxic inhabitants, Twitter-related hazards, and oh, holy shit, oh no, it found me, it found me. Hold on a moment. Okay, that should fix it for now. But we know not really. The SAM ore can be found in this Gooner cave under the red bamboo maze, forest area, whatever. We're gonna need this for that dark matter, which we're gonna get into later. We also got belts just on the ground now because I just don't give a fuck, and the copper is on the other side of this cliff. And of course, just as I get to the copper node, I realized I didn't bring the right parts with me, and I didn't have any in cloud storage. So of course I had to go all the way back to my base to pick everything up again. After belting everything in, and dealing with the wildlife living in Osmogold's bedroom, we can now actually start building some factory lines. I know, right? We actually haven't started building anything yet. Let's start with the most pain in the ass line first, the crystal oscillators. Going with the insulated crystal oscillator recipe, we just need 4-ish manufacturers and some belt lines to connect them all together. Now we need 3 secret ingredients: AI limiters, rubber, and crystal. We're already slinging enough crystal to supply the entire amphetamine enthusiast community within the city of Albuquerque, and we built up a simple rubber production line to satisfy the needs of the most unhinged gooner lurking within the depths of DeviantArt. So now we need to automate more AI limiters as if we're about to face GLaDOS at the end of Portal 2. Like most things in Satisfactory, the real fun is finding ways to bring all these components together while avoiding the spaghetti. But like an Italian nonna thinking you look too skinny, the pasta is inevitable. Hold on a second. Why are there 7 manufacturers here? Fuck, did I miss up the recipes again? Why do we keep doing this, and why does it keep happening with freaking crystal oscillators? Nope, no, I'm not gonna delete them. I'm just gonna leave them there. So with that done, we need to work on the real fun stuff. The real sciencey shit. Time crystals and dark matter. Like I said, we're building the dirtiest, most environmentally destructive, most crimes against humanity production line. Oil-based diamonds is not just the most hilariously evil recipe in the game, it's also one of the most efficient according to this alt recipe tier list by user Right516 on the r/Satisfactory Game subreddit. It's just a matter of building a number of converters, building ourselves a new particle accelerator, and jamming all the outputs into another particle accelerator for those dark matter crystals. Now we got ourselves extracting more diamonds, we got Fat Cat Executive working for De Beers. Once that's done, I work on another aluminum factory line, because I can't be bothered to actually extract more alkali plates from another factory line in fear of fucking up the numbers. And is it lagging again? Dear God, I cannot catch a break. As according to that so-called prophecy, I built 2 quantum encoders, one to produce 3 super oscillators, and the other to produce 4 per minute. The last thing we need is the excited photonic matter. And it's kind of refreshing to just have an input that doesn't require some convoluted production line to create 7.289 fucking whatevers per minute, right? The only real input is power. And luckily, we got that covered because the power trip PTSD is real. I just built 1 converter and watch as it gets more excited in a theater crowd seeing Jack Black say chicken jockey at the Minecraft movie. All we gotta do now is hook everything up and let the magic happen. Except there is one more thing. The quantum encoder building has a byproduct with each recipe, which is more dark matter. Big brain players will find ways to loop this back into the production lines as to create stable production cycles that will never back up and do not require more consumption of SAM ore for more dark matter. But I'm not going to do that because the late game laziness demands that I do not give a fuck. Instead, I cram everything into another particle accelerator so the dark matter crystallization process can turn that product into sync product, and then maybe store some off for later. And so with that, we got our first Super Position Oscillator ever automated here. And man, do they sure look funky looking. They kind of remind me of something. Oh god, no. Well anyways, thanks for watching. Next time, we can finally put an end to this playthrough by combining everything we've built so far into the last 2 space elevator parts. Please be sure to leave a like, and if you made it this far, have a great rest of your day.